Hey everyone, what's up? This is Dr. Charlie PT. Hope you are doing well. And in this video, I want to cover a topic which I think is kind of cool and a little bit different, right? It's this idea of like using aquatic therapy, to get that straight, if you have some type of back, butt, and or sciatica problem. Is it useful? Is it not useful? Literally just had a woman reach out to me and said, Charlie, she had a really good, interesting question. She said, you know, my PT, she said aquatic therapy was useless for me because I'm not a fish, right? Essentially, what the PT was saying, right, was, hey, you don't live in a pool, so you can exercise in the pool all you want, but when you get on land, how transferable is that, right? How valuable is that? And is it gonna make a difference? And so before I share my thoughts real quick, my name is Dr. Charlie Johnson. I'm a physical therapist. I have my orthopedic board specialty. I teach people all around the world with back, butt, and sciatic problems how to fix themselves naturally using the power of their mind and movement as medicine. And if you're wondering what the heck the cause of your pain could be, because there's so much confusion, especially as it relates to back, butt, sciatica type of issues, a really complicated, if you will, area, check out my Better Than an MRI, right above the sun there, DIY diagnostic guide or somewhere thereabouts. And you can download that for free to figure out the most likely source of your symptoms. Okay, so let's get back to this topic. All right, so what are my thoughts on aquatic therapy? You know, in the past, I've tended to sided with that PT, all right? I've tended to side with that PT, all right? Meaning, specificity of training, right? If you want to become a good baseball player, you can swim all you want, but at some point, you've got to swing the bat, all right? If you want to get good at being able to walk and being able to do things on land, well then guess what? You've got to do things on land, all right? And so does it make sense to, let's just say if you have trouble walking or trouble, you know, moving your legs in certain ways, does it make sense to take it off land in an environment which is maybe not very natural for most humans, because most of us don't live in a fishbowl, right? Practice it there, and then is it kind of like backwards to think that, wow, that's really going to matter, that's really going to make a difference, and you know, I'm in the pool, I'm doing stuff, and that's going to make me feel better when I get back on land, when I get back on earth, right? You got to live with gravity involved, and then you take that kind of out of the picture a little bit when you're in the water, and what's the carryover going to be? Am I just wasting my time? And so I don't think you're wasting your time. I used to kind of be on that extreme, but now I realize I just don't know what I don't know, and I'm totally okay saying that. And so instead of living on the extremes of like, you should do this, aquatic therapy makes sense, it doesn't make sense, I say let's test it out, right? And so in this lady's case, she had trouble moving her leg in a certain position, getting her leg up to like tie her shoes, as well as I think getting up like out of a chair because of her kind of back, hip, butt, and leg stuff. When she gets on land, she has trouble doing that, but in the pool, she can do it perfectly fine, all right? And so instead of thinking of it just like the pool, right? Let's call the pool just a change of environment. If pain is an experience, and you can alter that experience by changing the environment in which you try these different things, then, and you can find success with it, I'm all for it, okay? And so the first thing I would say is like, hey, do you, if you're watching this, you're wondering if you should try aqua or aquatic therapy, or you enjoy doing maybe on your own, some of your own exercises in the pool or in the water, maybe you have a backyard pool or something like that. I say, hey, do you actually enjoy it, right? And would you prefer being in the pool versus like laying on your back on a yoga mat, just doing a bunch of different stretches? And if you're like, dude, that yoga mat stuff, that laying on my back just doing a sheet of exercise, that's so boring. Then I'd say, well, there's your answer. If it's fun, it's going to get done, all right? And so if you enjoy being in the pool, not only is that psychologically going to be a safer, more comfortable environment for you to get moving, but also if it physically allows you to go through whatever motions or achieve whatever activity that you have trouble achieving on land, if it allows you to get that desired result physically by being in the pool, then why not do it? All right, now, I would still be scientific about it. So again, rather than being aquatic therapy doesn't make sense. There's no carryover to when you get back on land because you are not a fish, right? Test it out. So I said, hey, number one, do you enjoy being in the pool more than you say would enjoy going into like a regular PT clinic or being at home trying the same exact stretches or activities? And if you say yes, then cool, let's do it. Again, psychologically, that can reduce the threat because you feel kind of in your little zone, in your little element. It's comfortable and joyous to you to be in the pool. Great. All right. But then also, let's make sure that it makes sense. Let's be scientific. So what do I mean? So let's just say you're having trouble, I don't know, tying your shoes for whatever reason, okay? Maybe you got a yucky leg raise or tying your shoes kind of yucky figure 4, right, where you got to put that ankle up on the knee. Do it on the side of the pool as you're sitting on the bench changing your bathing suit or whatever, right? Do it. Do that motion once or twice. How yucky is it? Test. You're the scientist, right? Test. Then go ahead into the pool. Do your pool stuff. Now, beyond the scope of this video, there's probably, you might be watching this and have one routine. Somebody else might be watching this and have another routine. So I'm not going to comment on like what you should do in the pool at the moment. But right now you're just wondering like, hey, like is doing exercises, if I have back button sciatica problem in the pool, is it a good idea or a bad idea? A good idea. Is it helpful or is it not helpful? Here's how you're going to tell. You do a motion. You move beyond your diagnosis. You say, okay, that diagnosis is great, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm going to put it in terms that I can understand. I'm going to find a motion that's yucky. Ah, that's how that diagnosis might be showing up for me. Now I can see it and I can feel it. Great, a yucky figure 4, yucky leg raise. Cool, go do it. Now go right in the pool. Do maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes of your pool work. Take a bite of that thing which you're wondering, hey, is this useful or is this just a waste of time? Is aquatic therapy helpful? Is it not helpful? Go do it. 10, 15 minutes. I guess you could do it for longer, but just, we're trying to take a chunk of it. Then get out and sit right on the edge again. Sit on that bench. Retest that yucky leg raise, that yucky figure 4, that yucky back bend, that yucky arm raise. If for some reason you landed on this video and you have a rotator cuff problem, I would have said it earlier, you were on the wrong video, but this could help you too. All right, you go check it. All right. I go, and so you tested it before you went in the pool. You go took a chunk of that thing that you were wondering if it was going to be useful because your PT said it wasn't useful and it made no sense. Prove them wrong or prove them right. Just look at it objectively, okay? So go do that thing and then get out of the pool. Go do that yucky motion again. Retest. Same, better, worse. If better, tells you immediately in the moment, it helps you. So the question is how transferable is it? Well, we can't predict the future, but if you do something that makes an immediate change, guess what? I have all the reason to believe that it helps you now, and it may help you in the future. But if emotion doesn't help you now, or emotion makes you worse, I don't have any belief in it, right? I don't have much faith. The light bulb doesn't turn on now. I don't have much faith that for some reason, it's just going to light up. All right, so we think of motion the same way. And what I would do is I would take that aquatic therapy, right? There's 15 minutes you were doing and say, all right, cool. Now I can use that as medicine. Boom, boom, boom. Do it as frequently as I can. Live on the extremes. It's hard to tell if something's hot without cold. Black only exists because you have white. And so if you're going to test emotion out, gobble that sucker up as long as it feels yummy. Do a bunch of it. Go to the pool every day. After 4 days minimum, 7 days max. I found 4 days is the minimum that we can test anything. Now we can go back and say, is this still helping my leg raise, my back bend, my yucky arm raise, my figure 4? Wow, it is. Started this video wondering if aquatic therapy was something that was going to be useful for me because my PT and other people told me it doesn't make any sense. But mentally, feels safe, feels very comfortable. Not boring, not doing it from a place of trying to necessarily fix myself, just doing it because, well, I like the pool. Physically, it works, and I proved it because I was a scientist and sort of the captain of my own healing. All right, I tested something. I did it. Follow your instructions, Charlie. Maybe you stopped this, you went to the pool and you came back. I don't know. All right. And it immediately made that thing that was problematic better. Then we continue that, and wow, trend is better. This is how you start to answer questions for yourself, rather than just relying on someone smarter than you or more educated than you. And you can start to, again, become your own best healer. You can become self-sustainable when you start to understand how to think, and you start to apply some of these decision-making frameworks so that you no longer have to rely on other people, but instead you can take these concepts. Is aquatic therapy good or bad for me? That's what I hope you get out of this. For you, is this or that good or bad? You can apply the same concept to other things. Is chiro good or bad? Is PT good or bad? It's universal. But in this case, hopefully you get the concept. You can apply it. It's very sunny. And be on your way, all right? And if you get stuck, know that we work with people all around the world. So if you have any questions and or comments, hopefully this was helpful. Let us know below. We'd love to be a guide for you. All right. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. Hopefully this is helpful and clears up any confusion about this. Is water therapy, is aquatic therapy good for me? Should I do it? Is it bad for me? Is it a waste of time? Test it out. Find out for yourself. Thanks everyone. Appreciate you watching.